today.
What we've learned about FBI agent Strzok is that this is the one FBI agent that is literally at the epicenter of virtually every major decision the FBI has been involved in, action and inaction, about candidate Trump, about President Trump, and about candidate Clinton. And if that one agent at the center or source is decidedly anti-Trump and decidedly pro-Clinton, that raises real questions.
I'm sure you're aware of the recent media reports indicating that Peter Strzok, who is a special agent at the FBI, changed the words grossly negligent to extremely careless in former Director Comey's statement closing the Clinton investigation.
Gross negligence is the language in the statute, I believe. But I believe also that almost anybody who grabbed a thesaurus would say that gross negligence and extremely careless are pretty darn close to each other.
You're right. They are synonyms. Extremely careless is a synonym for grossly negligent, which begs the question, why change it?
How did this guy get on your supposedly unbiased team in the first place?
If you watched today, you saw something that we have been telling you now for a long time, that other networks that say they're fair and balanced and objective and they consider themselves to be real journalists never talk about. Pretty amazing. Now, Peter Strzok, that's the Trump-hating, Clinton-loving FBI agent. He's tied to everything, including the fake news dossier. Watch very closely, an amazing moment, Congressman Jim Jordan connecting all of the dots, kind of like we've been doing on this show. Why? Because it's the truth. Something missing in today's world of so-called journalism, which I said was dead back in 2008. Take a look.
Peter Strzok, the guy who ran the Clinton investigation, interviewed Mills, Abedin, interviewed Secretary Clinton, changed gross negligence a crime to the term extreme carelessness, who ran the Russian investigation, who interviewed Mike Flynn, gets put on Mueller's team, and then he gets kicked off for a text message that's anti-Trump. If you kicked everybody off Mueller's team who was anti-Trump, I don't think there'd be anybody left. So here there's got to be something more here. My hunch is it has something to do with the dossier. Director, did Peter Strzok help produce and present the application to the FISA court to secure a warrant to spy on Americans associated with the Trump campaign?
Congressman, I'm not prepared to discuss anything about a FISA process in this setting.
Did Peter Strzok, was he involved in taking that to the court?
I'm not going to discuss in this setting anything to do with the FISA court applications.
It's been reported that this dossier was all dressed up by the FBI, taken to the FISA court, and presented as a legitimate intelligence document, that it became the basis for granting a warrant to spy on Americans. And I'm wondering if that actually took place. It sure looks like it did.
Now, what Congressman Jordan is talking about, and what we have now been getting at for months, is this is critical to the entire so-called Russian investigation. You got everybody in the liberal, mainstream, destroy Trump media trying to make this all about non-existent Trump-Russia collusion. It's been a year, no evidence, but they've all been missing the point, and frankly, deliberately misleading and lying to you, the American people. They're lazy and they're overpaid. It's pathetic. The big story in all of this is the growing possibility, yes, it's emerging, that the FBI used the Clinton bought and paid for Russian dossier to obtain a FISA warrant to spy on American citizens that were connected to candidate and then President-elect Trump. Now, that would be weaponizing the very powerful tools and using them against an opposition party in an election year. Now, let's be clear here. It's not a smoking gun quite yet, but it's coming. But that's all where the signs now are pointing to. We'll follow this every single step of the way. We're ahead of the curve. Please stay with us. And one more very important point. Can anyone explain to me, anybody at all, how Robert Mueller's investigation can be described as fair, impartial, not biased? Let's imagine for just a second it's you, it's your family member, or somebody that you love and care about, your friends. Would you really want Robert Mueller and his team of partisan political hacks investigating you? Would you want a group of people that donated over $50,000 to the Democrats and filled with unethical officials and attorneys coming after you? that hate one candidate, love the other candidate. Would you really trust them to be fair? Do you think this is how the justice system is supposed to work? Because
a congressman and a 10-year-old cancer survivor joined forces to save lives. Sadie Keller and Texas Representative Michael McCall have been working together, getting Congress to pass bills that help the fight against pediatric cancer. And both of them join me now in studio. I'm so happy to have you both here. Sadie, hi. Congressman, thank you for being here. I've already fallen in love with Sadie, so Congressman, pardon me if I push you to the side for a moment. No disrespect. Sadie, you are now, well, you're 10 years old now, yes. Right? I want to start off and talk about your toy drive, since we're just a few days away from weeks from Christmas. You have a toy drive. It's called Sadie's Sleigh, and this is operated through the Sadie Keller Foundation. Tell us about the toy drive.
So, well, how it all started was I was talking to my doctor wondering if Santa came to the hospital, and she said, yes, but I can never imagine being in the hospital on Christmas. So I really wanted to do something for all those childhood cancer fighters in the hospital on Christmas. So I was like, how about we do a toy drive? And the first year, my goal was to collect 300 toys, and I ended up collecting 1,300 toys for my hospital, Children's Medical Center in Dallas. And it was so amazing. And in 2016, my goal was to collect 2,600 toys, and I ended up collecting 5,000 toys.
I like the way you work. So what's your goal this year?
This year, my goal is really big, but I'm so excited about it. It is to get 10,000 toys for 4 hospitals, Children's Medical Center in Dallas and Plano, Cook Children's in Fort Worth, and Medical City.
Guess what? We're going to help you make that happen. Not that you need our help, because you are a most amazing young lady, teenager, well, not even teenager yet, 10-year-old. So let's tell them, though, if they wanted to help you reach your goal, it's the SadieKellerFoundation.org, SadieKellerFoundation.org. You can help Sadie reach her goal. And Sadie, you're here, too, because you are a survivor yourself. You were diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. You're in remission now. That you were given that news at age 7. You're 10 years old, and I want to ask you, how has being a cancer survivor changed your outlook on life?
Well, I feel like knowing about childhood cancer makes you like a better person, and because I just want to point out that kids get cancer too, and I'm a big advocate for childhood cancer, and they only get 4% of funding from the government. So I just think that that's horrible, and kids shouldn't have to go through this. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's just very, very sad, and it's made me a better person too, because I've been through that, and it's just I like helping others.
Well, Congressman McCall, this is a story that's close to you, a personal story for you as well. Tell me, how is it that you came to be partners with Sadie? Well,
my best friend in grade school died from leukemia. I chair the Childhood Cancer Caucus. I founded it to give these children a voice in the Congress. They don't have lobbyists and special interest groups. And so through that caucus, I was introduced to Sadie. I've met a lot of children who have been afflicted with this terrible disease, and some have survived and some have not. But this is a very special girl in my life and many others because of her attitude. She's so positive. Taking a bad experience and turning it into a positive is really the life lesson, I think, for all of us. And she is so inspiring, has touched me personally, in my heart. And she is really the best lobbyist that we have. So when I had the Race for Children Act, the one to boost pediatric clinical trial studies, we brought Sadie to the Hill. And what better advocate for the cause to defeat childhood cancer than little Sadie? I think we all see her now and see what she does. I mean, Sadie is so amazing. She has such a light. When I met you just under an hour ago in the green room, I was immediately attracted to your light, to your positivity, and that headband, I'm going to have to negotiate to get that from you maybe after the segment. But I'm so happy that you're here. We really need you. We thank you. We thank you, Congressman, as well. We need this type of advocacy. We need this type of togetherness. We need this type of harmony.
in our world today.
You know, and it's a good news story coming out of Washington where we're not hearing a lot of good news right now.
Okay, I thank you both. SadieKellerFoundation.org. Thank you both.